Hi, friends. It's Joy with In Search of Joy Wellness. I really appreciate you joining me this week for this session. We are in session 4, and session 4 is the heart chakra. And like I said briefly in the last video, is this area is we're going to work on opening up this area. A lot of the times, physically, we tend to close in if we're on our computer, if we're on our device, or even if we are driving in our cars. It creates a lot of stress. And it's kind of stress that we kind of hold in, and it's a tension stress, but we tend to close in and it makes us all. And on an emotional side, we could be going through some emotional changes in life. We could be experiencing some anxiety or some depression, many numerous things that can tend to have us close in. So today, we're going to open up this area and get some movement in our shoulders and our neck. And I hope you enjoy this short video. It's going to be maybe about, I'm looking like 25 minutes to half an hour long. And I hope you enjoy it. So let's get started. And we'll start with a block underneath my hips. So with the block underneath our hips, we want to make sure that our sit bones are pressed evenly into the block or the mat. Go ahead and roll the shoulders back slightly, opening up the chest, making sure that you keep your low ribs kind of knit in tight so that you don't overextend that natural curve in the back. Go ahead and place our hands on our knees, facing upward. And we're going to practice that breath we've been practicing. The breath where we inhale, hold for a few seconds or a couple of seconds, and then exhale for a longer exhale. So I'll let you count it in on your own, but I'll direct the first couple if this is your first time joining us. So inhale, hold, exhale. Inhale, hold, exhale. Now do this a couple more times with your own breath. Let's go ahead and return to normal breath. Flutter your eyes open. Let's remove whatever we were sitting on. Oops. I'm going to use this to hold down my mat. And we are going to come into a tabletop, and we're going to do a round of cat and cow. Open up that back and chest. So let's go ahead and settle in, making some organic movements here. Really feeling your body. We have a healthy spine. We have a healthy human being. Okay. Let's make sure that our shoulders are over our wrists. And our hips are over our knees. Knees are about hips distance apart, meaning they're about, you can fit they're about 2 fists apart. Okay? A lot of people think that hips distance apart means on the outer hips. And we're actually looking for the internal spinal alignment of the hip. Okay, on an inhale, go ahead and start to take that tailbone and start to curve it up towards the sky. As you do that, your tummy will start to naturally curve down to the mat. As your shoulders come back, push the ground away so you don't cave in. Opening up the neck, gaze up. On an exhale, starting at the tailbone, curling, tucking it in, tightening the tummies, curling the spine, pushing the ground away, really pushing that ground away, tucking the neck, tucking the chin to the chest. Now let's go ahead and do this on your own breath. Inhale into cat. Exhale. Actually, that was cow. This is exhale into cat. Inhale into cow. Oh, we're doing it on our own breath. Go ahead and come to neutral spine. And from here, we're going to go into a downward facing dog. And we will start with our flow. Tuck the toes. On an inhale. And then on an exhale, sending the hips up and back. And let's go ahead and pedal into our first dog before we find stillness. Making sure that you're putting the weight of your hands into the L shape, the front finger and the thumb. And gripping with your fingertips. You don't dump all the weight into your wrists. Heels reaching towards the floor as much as possible. Biceps by alongside the ears. Let's find stillness for a couple. On an inhale, we're going to go ahead and walk to the front of the mat. And forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, slight cobra in the back. You can bring your hands to your shins. Crown of the head reaching forward. Forward fold. Inhale, planting the feet so much into the ground. You start the slight bend in the knees. You can start to roll the spine or the torso up into standing. Hands meeting above the head as we gaze up to the thumbs. On an exhale, hands to heart center, and we were forward fold. Planting the hands, we're going to step back. We're going to come to our knees. From here, I misread my notes. So, what we're actually going to do here is when we come back from our forward fold, we're going to come back into chaturanga or half chaturanga. So, half chaturanga is for those of you who are just learning how to get into this. Now, let me tell you, this is one of the most dangerous poses that we have. You can actually blow out your shoulder. And for a number of years, I was doing it incorrectly, and I was really hurting my shoulder when I was trying to heal it. Heal this shoulder in particular. And just recently found, as going through school and learning the proper ways to do these poses, my instructor, her name is Kate, and she's really sweet, showed me how to properly have my hands. Typically, we don't align correctly with this part, and literally, you need to be at a 90-degree angle from this part of the hand. If you're back like this, you're gonna do some damage. So, in our coming into chaturanga, and I want you all to do it right, she showed me how to do it with a block. I think I'm gonna show you guys too. So, what we do here is shoulders over the wrists, wrists over the shoulders, and hips over the knees, okay? We're going to lean the body forward slightly so that we're at an angle going forward, and then when we come down to our chaturanga, we hold our chaturanga like this. Woo! That's challenging for me. Got to practice it. If you don't knock over the block, you're at where you want to be. So that's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and practice that. We are going to do a half chaturanga. Placing our hands, and then on an exhale, shift the body forward and bring it down. Holding it here. Breathe. Inhale, come back up. What we're going to do is we are going to plant. If we can do this. Yeah. Tuck your toes. Start to send. Straighten out the legs, sending the body forward. Keeping your tummy tucked tight. We're going to do an upward. This is upward floating dog. On an exhale, bend your knees. Shift the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. All right. Keeping our downward facing dog. On an inhale, lifting the right leg and stepping it through in between the hands, planting that foot, keeping your back foot. We're going to stay on with your toes tucked, and we're going to come into crescent lunge. So on an inhale, lift the torso up. Woo! I almost fell over. Inhale, crescent lunge. Breathe here, keeping the hips square, arms alongside the ears, really pulling back on the right hip crease and pulling forward on the left hip crease. Inhale, dropping the back foot down to a 45-degree angle, so dropping the back heel to a 45-degree angle. We're going to open up, warrior two. And breathe. Maybe on your exhales, maybe you can come down a little bit deeper in your warrior. Really reaching your hands out here. Act as if you're squeezing something between your shoulder blades. Knee over the ankle and in line with that second toe. Pinky edge of the foot in the back foot here, your weight on that. A lot going on here. Exhale, planting the hands down to the ground, and we will do our flow and take it over to the other side. So on an inhale, we're going to step or jump to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Over in the back. Exhale. Inhale, pressing so much into the ground. You start to raise the body. Hands meet above the head as your gaze meets the thumbs. Exhale. Tighten the tummy muscles as we forward fold. Planting the hands. We are going to step or jump back into chaturanga. So step back, dropping the knees, shifting the body forward slightly, coming down to a 90-degree angle. Hold. Inhale. We're going to go ahead and straighten back up. move the legs back a little bit, tucking the toes as we start to shift the body forward, straightening the legs, tightening the tummy muscles so we don't hurt our low back, pressing the heels to that imaginary wall behind you. And then on an exhale, shifting the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, lifting the left leg or left foot. Exhale, stepping it through. Inhale, crescent lunge. Pulling forward on the right hip crease and pulling back on the left hip crease so that you can keep your hips square. Knitting the front ribs together so that you're not overextending your low back. In your next exhale, drop the back heel to the ground, keeping your foot at a 45-degree angle, placing the weight on the pinky edge of the foot. Excuse me. Knee over the ankle and in line with the second toe. Open up. We are in Warrior Two. Next exhale, bring the hands to the mat. And we will step back into downward facing dog and we will do our flow. From downward facing dog, step or jump to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come to Tadasana, standing. Hands meet above the head. Exhale, hands to heart and center. Forward fold. Planting the hands, stepping back, dropping the knees, shifting the body forward. On an exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, let's come to a low cobra. Exhale. We are going to come back into a child's pose. Now from here, what we are going to do is we're going to move into that floating cobra again. And we're going to hold that pose just a little bit longer. So on inhale, start to raise the hips and come up into table. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to tuck the toes. As we tuck the toes, we're going to start to lift the knees off the mat, sending the hips forward as we straighten the legs, tightening the tummy muscles. Excuse me, I have to get my toes situated. Tightening the tummy muscles as we push the ground away, opening up the chest, looking forward. Really feel the strength in your body. On an exhale, bend the knees, send the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. And let's take our flow. Let's go ahead and inhale, step or jump to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come to standing. Hands meet above the head. Exhale, hands to heart center. Forward fold. Planting the hands. Step back. Knees down. We'll come into our Chaturanga. Shift the body forward. Inhale. Scoot through to low cobra. Keeping the eyes, gaze heavy and low. Don't crank the neck back. Now on exhale, we're going to go ahead and come back to seated on our heels. Now what we're going to do here is we are going to kind of slither in to our low cobra. So, from a child's pose, plant your forearms on the ground. On an inhale, try to scrape your nose basically to the mat as you slither on through, bringing yourself down into a low cobra. And here we are going to hold our cobra, and we're going to do like a round of holding it for a few breaths and then down for about 4 times. And exhale. Rest the right cheek to the mat. Inhale, lift the body, pressing the pubic bone into the mat, the upper thighs, and the tops of the feet. Shoulders up and back, hardly any weight in the hands. Exhale. Let's drop the left cheek to the mat. Inhale, pressing the pubic bone into the mat. Pressing the upper thighs into the mat, we lift the upper torso, shoulders up and back. Gaze is low. Exhale. Dropping the right cheek to the mat. This is challenging when you have a headset on. Inhale, pressing again. Exhale. Inhale, press your hands into the mat. Let's go ahead and come back into a child's pose. On an inhale, let's come to the table. Now let's go ahead and sit down, and we are going to do a seated twist. Let me see what's the best way I can show you. Bend your, it's head on, I have to do it this way. Bend your right knee, place it on the mat. Your foot's going to be out to the left of you here. You can't do it that way, you can just keep your leg straight and then place the left foot on the opposite side or on the outside of the right knee. On inhale, you're going to lengthen the body, placing the hand just like right behind you, right by your sacrum. On an inhale, you're going to lengthen. On your exhale, you're going to start to twist the torso as you hook your elbow on the outside of the left knee as you turn on your exhale, placing your hand on your heart or as close to it as you can get. Gaze is the last thing to go back so you don't hurt your neck. Now for the other twist that I was going to do is we're going to bend the right knee. If you can do this one, same principle. Bending the right knee, placing the left on the outside of the right knee, and same place back behind your sacral. Lifting, and then on exhale, twisting. Make sure that your sit bones are both on the mat. This was one pose I used to do incorrectly quite a bit. Exhale, release. And I used to place a lot of stress. So, go ahead and bend the left leg. Place the right leg or right ankle outside the left knee. Placing the right hand behind you. Inhale, lifting the spine to the sky. Raising the left arm. On an exhale, twisting over to the left. Exhale, release. This is pretty nice. Woo, guys! We are done with the movement exercises. Let's go ahead and settle into our Shavasana. Legs extended out in front of you long. Laying back down on your mat. I don't think I'm going to do the Shavasana with you guys today because my hair is pinned up and I don't want to fall asleep. So, you guys can go ahead and lay back on your mat. Extending the body long. Feeling how your head, your shoulders, your hips, and calves feel on the mat. What does the energy feel like in your body? Is it racing around, or do you feel awakened, energized? How are your feelings? How are your emotions? Are you excited to be here today? Are you happy that you participated? Are you angry? Fine if you're angry. Just see those emotions, don't hold on to them, and just kind of let them be there and witness them. Go ahead and start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, leaving your eyes heavy. Turn over to one side or the other. Stay in your fetal position for at least one breath. Placing the top arm on the mat or the hand on the mat, and come to a seated position. For those of you who don't know about yoga and the symbolization of Shavasana into fetal position is basically you are dying of your old ways and being reborn into a new you. So each time you practice yoga, not only does yoga help you physically on a physical level, it helps you mentally, and it helps you internally. And once you practice it more and more, you'll find that that combination just they go hand in hand. The natural way of giving thanks to the Creator above for the beautiful body that you were given to express your gratitude in this gorgeous body. Anyway, friends, let's come to Hands to Heart Center. Thank you for joining me today. My heart feels lighter today. I hope your heart feels a little lighter as well. And I thank you for letting me be a part of your journey. Join me for next week. Next week we'll focus on the throat chakra. Thumbs to the third eye. Bow forward and say namaste. Thank you. Like I said, next week it'll be the throat chakra, and we'll be working on to help our communication skills. And if you like this video, guys, please give me a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to get out there, and I'm trying to show people and friends out there that you can start yoga at any age and embrace it. So I welcome you. I'm a brand new yoga teacher, and I'm trying to be real with it. And I hope I can take you along in search of joy. Maybe you can find some joy too. Take care, guys. I'll see you later. See you next week.